Hey you guys, welcome to Full Disclosure Friday, week number 2. I've got my partner in crime, Matt Lee, with me. This is gonna be fun, guys. Thank you for tuning in again today after a tough week 1 in the cab of our Chevy as we were dealing with all things real estate. But today we're gonna kind of take a step back and kind of introduce ourselves as realtors and just as people. You know, some of you know us well, some of you don't, or, you know, friends from high school or have been employees or coworkers from other jobs we've had. And so just kind of give you an idea of why we do this, what makes us different.
A lot of things make us different.
That is very, very true. So in full disclosure, we are recording this today because Regs has kindergarten roundup at 1 o'clock. So not gonna lie, this is take number 3 as my phone rang, and then Bailey, our dog, was absolutely insane. So
That's true.
we're gonna try this again.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Not only are we just going to talk about ourselves and what makes us different, Matt's going to go over a little bit about market stats and how 2019 is shaping up on the home front.
Yeah.
So you're going to get into that?
Yeah. So real quick, guys, I'm not going to bore you with a ton of stats and metrics. And honestly, you can look at real estate 1,000 different ways. And I'm just going to try and keep it very high level and stuff that you guys can relate to. And when we talk about stats, we're going to talk about the 4 counties around us: Sacramento County, Placer County, El Dorado, Yolo combined. And just very straightforward. And honestly, it's been a very strong start to 2019. There was a lot of chatter, concern, a lot of people talking about the market's flattening, it's crashing, we're getting ready for a repeat of a decade ago.
Don't believe the hype.
Don't believe the hype. You talk to a realtor, talk to people who know what's going on. Look at the numbers, because the numbers will always tell the truth, regardless if you want to hear it or not. But yeah, so 2019 started off really strong, and when we talk about it, we'll keep some very high-level, simple numbers. So when we look at February in general, the market is strengthening a little bit right now. Obviously, we're coming into season, coming out of a super rainy winter, but it's up almost 8% versus January, and then pending sales, which means houses that are in escrow, ready to get closed and record, they're up 21% versus January, which is good. Versus last year, sold houses are down about 12% versus last year, but you have to take into account that for several years in a row, we've had an increase in sold houses and single family homes in our markets as well. So year over year over year. So
and also December was one of the craziest, most anomaly Decembers ever. And so many of those houses would have closed had they been, gone into escrow.
Yeah, so it was a little different kind of season. But when you look at pending transactions versus last year, it's up 5.5%. So that's great. 12 months, year over year. We have a lot of houses, a lot of buyers out there very active that got into the market, and now they're in escrow and about ready to close. March is looking even better. It hasn't wrapped up, so these stats aren't finalized. But versus last month, about 18% up in sold houses in those 4 counties, and then 14% almost in pending transactions, which is great to see the build and the growth month over month to start off 2019, which is great. Inventory right now, so if we look at it, for all the buyers that are out there, there's about 2 months of supply. So there's a healthy amount of inventory in the market, which is good, but it's not an absorbent, saturated market where there's too many houses and then home prices start to fall, which is great. Average house stays on the market about 55 days right
Except
now.
Except for if you work with us, because that
Yes.
happens much, much faster.
Not with Team Lee. So when we list a house, we try to sell it obviously in the first couple days. If it's not, then something's wrong, and we try not to have that happen. Home value has gone up over 4% versus last year, which is great. Average or median price right now is $445,000 for those 4 counties. So that's super segmented and pocketed. So you have areas where homes go in the millions and areas where homes go in the 200,000s. So that's just a very, very broad average, just so you know. So that's where we stand. So 2019 is starting off really strong. March
Super strong.
March is looking strong.
We just won. Got offers accepted on 2 separate houses where there was multiple offers, and we won. And so the market is still really strong. I just beat out an offer that had 14 offers on the house. We won that one, and then we just won another one yesterday that had 3 offers on it. So
and you beat it out without having the highest priced offer too. So
And it just goes back into our thing that, real estate isn't always about money. It's also a people business. And so it kind of goes that's like a perfect transition into
Yeah.
these people.
Yeah.
So Matt Lee, why in the world did we get into this thing called real estate?
This crazy world.
This crazy world.
So as many of you know, either high school friends, college friends, we've previously worked together, or we've helped you buy or sell a house. We've been in real estate a little less than 2 years now.
Yeah.
And it's something where previously we worked in retail management for a decade and a half and managed countless people and
thousands and thousands.
And we love building relationships. I love building relationships. I love getting to know people. I love, helping people get what they want and achieve their goals. And that's something that's been super rewarding in the real estate business. Kind of went into it not knowing what to expect, but I think it's been much better than I even anticipated. I get to work with my wife every day.
That's a good and a bad.
It's not always sunshine and rainbows, but we scrap sometimes for sure. But
hence, this is our second take on third take on this.
We got into it. I got into it specifically to really work with people and just first time home buyers, investors, like they get the house that they want at a great price, or they sell their house for what they wanted to get for it, and they just get a new house and turn it into a home. It's super exciting for us. And then obviously the work-life balance, and then the getting to be with my family all the time, the kids, and enjoy that time. So that's some of the motivations.
So for me, I really wanted to get into this because too, we were working a ton, putting in a ton of hours, helping other people, achieve greatness and success. And Matt and I really wanted to always run our own business together. And for me, building the relationships with my employees was the greatest part of any job that I had. And so if you know me, you know that there's two things. I get geeky excited about things, and I love talking to people and getting to know people. And so one of my favorite parts of my job was, getting to know our employees and building those relationships. And the higher you get up in companies, the less ability you have to do that. And so Matt and I, I think both were really, really missing out on that connection with people. And so this really just felt like a natural thing for us. I love sales, and I love everything to do with, selling stuff. And I get excited when I help someone find that right thing, or, my energy is just off the charts. And so real estate just felt like a really natural place for both you and I, right?
Yeah. It's been fantastic.
It's been a really fun thing. And so we have been shockingly, we thought we would do good, and do well, as you would say, right? Mm-hmm. Our first few years, but we've even exceeded our expectations. And I think that goes to just a couple of things that make us different.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jinx?
Well, there's a lot of things that make us really different in life, but really different. Ask our daughter. But just in general, I think there's some things that help us stand out as realtors, and that we found, because we came into this and not know anything about the real estate market.
Except for buying and selling our own houses.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's it. But when you have some of the qualities that Kelly and I have, as far as like work ethic and integrity and tenacity, the ability to communicate and build relationships with people, it will set you apart quite a bit. There's a really high turnover as far as realtors, about 70% a year. Realtors turnover, so if 10 realtors right now, chances are 7 of those won't be realtors next year, which is crazy. But we found that it's a very competitive industry. But if you work your butt off and you're great with people and communicate with people, you'll be really, really successful.
And you know your stuff.
Yeah, and if you answer your phone and respond to emails, and that helps out a lot. We found it's crazy, but we found that we're calling on houses and we have clients that want to go buy a house, or we're calling other agents and just don't even pick up their phone, or they don't answer phones on the weekends. They'll get back to you on Monday, or their hours end at 5 and they might call you the next day. And most don't, actually. So it's maybe we are at times too available, or maybe
too intense. But I think the thing that sets us apart too is just our previous industries. We were forced to work on a stopwatch, not a calendar.
Yeah.
And so Matt and I pride ourselves in responding timely and being available to our clients at all times. So there's some of you that I've texted at 10:30 at night regarding a house, or I'll wake up at 5 a.m. and email you something else. Those are just the kind of people that we are. And we always feel like if our clients haven't Facebook friended us by the end of the transaction, we've done something wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we really, we not only want to build clients, but we want to build an extended family. And I feel like almost every client we've ever had thus far has been like that, don't you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times I've been up to like almost 1 o'clock looking for the perfect house for one of our clients who's looking to buy, and sending out emails, and then I'll get a call the next day like, what are we doing up at 1 o'clock? I'm like, couldn't stop thinking about it. Just like kept searching for something that I thought would be great. So. And
I think too, our sheer tenacity. If any of you know us from other jobs or just in life, Matt and I don't ever give up.
Yeah.
And no isn't an option for us. So if someone tells us no, okay, but we're going to find a different way to achieve that goal.
Yeah.
There is not a roadblock or any obstacle that you and I can't overcome or endure. And I think that has boded well for us in real estate and helping our clients achieve their dreams and get the dream house or sell their house for the highest dollar, the quickest.
Yeah.
And I think we're really creative in terms of marketing and really great at building relationships. And so we've got a huge pipeline, not just in terms of buyers and sellers, but also industry professionals, contractors, title people, that we've become friends with that make us able to do even a better job, right?
And I think one thing too that really helps us is that Kelly and I have both been in industries where we learn how to, we've learned how to remodel homes and update homes and what it takes and costs and who to work with and partnerships with contractors and inspectors and everybody she mentioned. So we can work with any client, from the person who's buying their first house ever to someone who's bought 50 houses, and we could talk to them about, if you want some sweat equity, this is what it would take. If you want a great value, here's what it is. If you wanted to throw on an addition, this is, roughly how much it would cost to do so, and give them a lot of different options. So you don't have to, we don't always have to look for like the pristine, perfect house. We could, a lot of people like that. They want a project, or they want something to fix, or they want something they can put their own touches on.
We don't know anything about that, right?
We don't know anything
God,
about
we
that.
buy every.
We choose the hardest.
We
path
literally
possible.
choose the hardest houses and the hardest path possible. Absolutely.
With our own homes, that is.
Yeah, like we're not gonna lie, but like we bought the house that you guys know in November, and
it has been nonstop.
And it's been a journey, and it'll probably be a journey.
Tiring.
Exhausting.
Yeah.
But I think too, babe, you forget too that like we could help anybody in terms of, showing them not just what it is right now, but what it could be.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It would definitely. I like that part of it too. Just seeing the vision of what a home could become, or defining spaces, or sometimes you go in a home and you're like, oh, like it's rough, Like, what are you gonna do with that? But just like, hey, do this, and like refinish this, and it turns it from a house into a home really quickly, and that's something where we have that kind of vision and ability to work with our clients, where at times other realtors don't really have that skill set. So. And
I think too, and we'll wrap this up quickly, but I think, the greatest thing about working with us is you don't just get one of us, you get both of us. And so we have our own unique sets of strengths, and it's really awesome that they kind of perfectly work with each other, right?
Yep.
Where I'm really like marketing oriented and sales oriented. You're really great at like the strategy and the negotiation and the money part.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm terrible at the social media part. Like, I keep telling Kel that I'm gonna be better about social media and put yourself out. I'm not very good at it.
But I think too, and I'm really good at the listing side, where Matt's really good at the buying side. Yeah. And I think we, and we at any time with any client can play off each other and ask each other for advice. And so you're not just employing one realtor, you're employing two.
And I think too, like one thing that is really different about us is that we really enjoy the negotiation and the banter and the bartering with other agents and making deals work. Where some of the people like don't necessarily enjoy tense conversations, we actually really thrive in those, and it helps us be really successful for whatever reasons. But our experiences help to kind of galvanize us and make us very strong in that regard. And
that's a good word.
I used to use it a lot. I don't use it anymore.
And intrinsic values.
Or concerted effort.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some weird words. I get made fun of a lot, but that's okay.
All right, you guys. So we literally, we're going to wrap up here. Full Disclosure Friday, week number 2. We have put our dog outside somewhere, and I have no idea where she is.
Yeah.
She's probably chasing a deer somewhere. You've got to go to a job site.
Yep.
I've got to go work on some stuff, trying to nail down some other contracts. But we really appreciate you guys tuning in. And as always, if you ever have any questions, real estate questions, or remodel questions, or questions about title or lending, we've got all the people that we would recommend. We've got all the people that we've had major success with, and
Yep.
we can refer them or answer any questions. No obligation, just want to help you guys out. So
Absolutely.
feel free to message us, call us, text us. But thanks you guys for tuning in. Full disclosure, week 2, what do you want to do next week? What are we going to do?
I don't know.
Let's talk about the importance of home inspections.
Oh, that's a good one.
That is a
Home
super good one.
inspections, title reports, pest inspections.
All that good stuff. So tune in next week.
It's really important. People take it for granted, but it's super important.
Tune in next week. I promise you'll be here again.
And other fun stuff, because that sounds boring. We'll talk about some fun stuff too.
But it'll be live.
Yeah.
So it will not be recorded. So it'll be live, full disclosure Friday, week 3 next week.
Sure.
Talking about the importance of inspections, pest inspections, title reports, all that good stuff.
Absolutely.
Deal.
Cool.
All right, you guys. Have a great weekend.
All right. Bye,
Bye.
guys.